your standard job application takes like 30 to 45 days at most, right? You submit an application, you get a pre-interview, you get a second interview, maybe you talk to the direct supervisor, and then you're hired. And then, you're on the job in 30 or 45 days. When you apply to work for CIA or for any senior intelligence organization anywhere in the world, right? Whether that's FBI or whether that's Mossad or whether that's, SVR. When you apply for a intelligence position, you're talking a minimum of 9 months, pushing more towards 18 and 24 months. Now, why does it take so long? Yes, it takes long because there's a bureaucratic engine that just moves slowly, but it also takes a long time because there's very real rigor in the application process. So when I got asked to apply to CIA, because that's essentially how it works, everybody has to go through the application process. It's just a matter of whether you apply on your own, whether you're recommended, whether you're, grandfathered in, who knows what. So when somebody taps you on the shoulder, like you said, you still have to go through the bureaucratic process.
I'm still hoping and dreaming I'm going to get it one day. Just CSIS, what's up?
So and CSIS is respectable too, man. You can't make fun of CSIS. They do a good job.
I do make fun of them a little bit, only because I live here.
It's fair. You're allowed. But I will say that I've been impressed by Canadian intelligence. All 12 of them. They're really good. Right.
Well, notice how you said 12, though. We're going to touch that later.
But as you go through that application process, you're going through intelligence batteries, yes, but you're also going through personality batteries. You're going through psychological batteries. You're going through multiple types of in-person interviews, individual interviews, group interviews, meaning 4 or 5 people interviewing you. You go through role-playing interviews. You go through critical thinking interviews. It's a really trying process every step of the way, because what they're actually looking for is not what you think you're capable of. They're looking for how you are actually wired to behave. Because they know that rather than teaching people how to cope with stress,
right,
they would rather bring in people who are wired to react to stress differently. So there's a term that we use called too dumb to quit. That's who they're looking for. They're looking for people who are too dumb to quit, so that when an opportunity comes your way, they're like, hey, we need someone to blow up Iranian centrifuges in the middle of the Iranian desert. And oh, by the way, we're not going to claim responsibility that we know you, and we're not going to give you enough resources to do it. And your evacuation route includes Pakistan, where you have to live in a tent for 2 months. Who's interested? And you need to have a bunch of people raise their hand. That only happens if you're too dumb to quit.
But it's terrifying, because I could pull out my Rolodex right now, and every single person in it
would say yes, right?
We would all say yes.
Yes, that's a special person. That's a kind of person. That's a kind of person. I don't mean special like, they're a great warrior. That means like special short bus special. Like, who the fuck is going to say yes to that when they're at the prime of their physical peak conditioning, and when they're like in the prime of their life and everything else? But people do, because CIA knows how to find those people. And those people are wired from very predictable backgrounds, right? Broken homes, traumatic childhoods, high-achieving parents that have created high-achieving children. Military backgrounds are dominant in large part because the military is one of those organizations where it's like, hey, put up or shut up, get to the top of the class or you don't count. Like it creates this constant sense of needing outside validation.